Healthy House Pop Quiz. What is one of the most important places to detox your home after your sleeping space? You might have guessed your kitchen, and if you did, you are correct. So the kitchen is such an important place to really focus our efforts on reducing toxins, and it's for a number of reasons. So not only is a kitchen a place that we spend a lot of time in, it's also a place where we ingest the most number of toxins throughout our day. And most of the toxins that we're ingesting are actually leaching into our food from items that we're using inside our home. So by making a better choice and using low toxin items in the kitchen to store our food and to cook our food with and in, you will drastically reduce your body burden and the toxic load that you're experiencing currently. I'm Amanda with Healthy House on the Block. I'm a building biology practitioner, a certified home inspector, and a healthy home expert with 8 years of experience researching toxins and better solutions for your home. And I am here with this week's video to help you create a low toxin kitchen by focusing on the essentials that we bring into our space and use every single day. Before we dive into low toxin kitchen essentials, I want to talk about how to implement these changes. Because if you think about it, your kitchen is a very large space. You likely have a lot of items. Your cabinets might be full, your drawers might be full. Where do you even start? And how do you continue down replacing things when you've hit that wall or you're starting to burn out? So the first thing I like to focus on is called the layered approach. It is exactly what it sounds like, layering on changes and habits just one at a time. Now, the reason that this method really works is because it completely avoids that overwhelm that comes with change. If you can focus on changing just one item or habit at a time, you won't become weighed down by wondering how you're going to change and swap out everything. The trick is to truly focus on just one thing at a time, and sometimes this is easier said than done, and it may be something you kind of have to force yourself to do at first. But once you begin to intentionally and thoughtfully research and change just one item and one area of your life and home at a time, I promise you it will become second nature. Now, another reason we often become overwhelmed with change in our home, not just changing out healthy kitchen essentials, by the way, is the amount of research that goes into making a more natural and healthy choice with our home items. So the good news is that oftentimes, and this is especially true in the kitchen and with healthy kitchen essentials, this research can actually be applied to a number of items and products. You kind of just have to keep track of what you have learned. I like to use the layered approach to just about any area I need to change. Honestly, from remodel projects to changing my personal habits. Each time you make a change, you want that change or product to stick. By making a better choice once, you improve your space a little bit, and with each additional change, the base layer of change actually gets deeper. Super quick, I wanted to invite you to a free workshop I'm doing on November 6th, where we're going to talk about how to create a house that will heal your body instead of burdening it down. We're talking about 4 major areas that your home is actually burdening down your body and what you can do about it. If you want to register, simply head to healthyhouse.on-the-block/free training. So the second concept before we dive in is to start small. This is like the key step to changing things in your house and making that change stick. What I mean by starting small is when it comes to detoxing a space, you want to start with the easiest thing to change and then snowball your efforts. Think of it like this. You wouldn't start a new workout regimen by just deciding to run 5 miles a day. You would fall off the wagon really quick and you'd only end up back at square one really fast. The same is true with our toxic products and our habits. You want to start with the simplest to change because it'll feel good to make a simple change and you'll be looking for the next one to accomplish right away. I promise you nothing is more frustrating than wanting to change and hitting a roadblock. And by starting with what you can control easily, we avoid that roadblock of getting stuck. Oftentimes it means starting with a change you've actually known that you should make for a while and then just taking action to do it. And sometimes starting small can snowball really quickly. I like to compare it to that children's book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. You know how one thing always leads to another. So for example, if you change your deodorant to a natural and toxin-free option, pretty soon you're swapping out your hair products, which leads to changing your morning routine, which makes you rethink your makeup, which in turn makes you swap out your perfume for essential oils. And then before you know it, you're mixing up your own cleaning supplies using natural ingredients and the essential oils that you just got into. It's kind of like a rabbit hole of healthy changes, but the end result is really an overhauled life and home for the better. I'm so excited to share with you my low toxin kitchen essentials. I do have them all linked in this week's blog post, and I have that blog post in my video description. So it might be easier to actually look at the post and go through the items so you can go and look at the product on the product's website rather than just listen to me talk about it. But essentially what we're doing is we are swapping out a lot of toxic materials, a lot of plastics, a lot of aluminum, and we're making better, healthier choices like stainless steel, 100% ceramic, glass. These are much better options, cast iron. One of the iffy areas that I did want to talk about is silicone. So silicone can be a lower toxin option. However, it shouldn't be heated and it shouldn't be something that we're baking with. So I know a lot of people used to say that silicone was 100% safe. What we're finding out now is it can be safe, but when it's heated, it can release some toxins. So stick to things like the stasher bags for any silicone application or something that you're going to store something cold in, and don't use it when you're cooking or baking. So I'm going to show you everything that I have on the blog post this week as far as essentials. We're looking at dishes, going for glass dishes obviously, and avoiding a lot of colors or glazing that has a lot of colors in it. Silverware and utensils, stainless steel, and natural wood are the best. Notice I did not share any silicone because of the fact that we don't want it to get heated or warm. And then I have a lot of baking essentials. So muffin pans, loaf pans, a lot of stainless steel and glass here. These are items that I use in my own home and have vetted. These are great options when it comes to low toxin baking and casserole dishes. And then if we go down a little more, I've got knives and cutting boards. Just know that I do have a cutting board video and blog post that will be being updated later this winter with updated options. And then crock pots and pots. We don't think about this a lot of times, but there are some really healthy options for crock pots and pressure cookers. I love the Instant Pot. VitaClay is another amazing option when it comes to a toxin-free crock pot. And then if we go down a little bit more, I have food storage. So a lot of glass. Beeswax wrap is a great way to get rid of plastic wrap in your house. I do love stasher bags. Now these are silicone. However, a lot of times they're storing cold or room temperature items. That is a safe option. I also wanted to share with you some textiles and cleaning options for your home. So we're going with natural brushes. I love Molly's Suds for my dishwasher. I have some organic oven mitts, hot pads, and towels for you, and then dish soap as well. So what do you do with all of those toxic materials that you've just swapped out of your kitchen? I have a couple ideas that won't send them to the landfill. First and foremost, I actually love using old utensils and containers that aren't glass for play toys outside. We have a mud kitchen and they're great for digging in the dirt and being creative with. They're almost like an open-ended toy, which is such a beneficial thing for kids to have around. If the item you're swapping out is plastic or has a recycle coat on it, then by all means add it to your recycling. While it does stink to discard plastic, if you're done with it and you've used it to the maximum life, I think it makes sense to recycle the material. And be sure to head to this week's blog post so you can get my free download, which is a complete checklist with safe materials and items that you could be replacing in your own home. It's my toxin-free kitchen essentials download. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you found at least one thing from this week's video to apply in your own home. If you found this helpful and you got some good ideas from it, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I am here every single week with new tips and ideas to help you create a healthier home, a space that will really support your body instead of burdening it down.